Hello, Awesomes. Welcome to week 6. A little bit more on schedule this week. It's Monday instead of Tuesday. All right, so I hope I sent out, well, I know I sent out a message, but I hope that that message is clear, that you understand. If you need some help forming a topic or putting something together for this white paper, I know it's kind of a little different, perhaps in what you're used to writing. So I'm going to kind of go over, in case you are still in that. I don't want to assume everyone's in that category. I did get someone to take advantage of the white paper optional help, right, for the discussion post. Still feel free to use that if you want to run by your topic ideas with me or to me. You can do that, or feel free to email me. Either one is fine. So what we're going to do today, let's scroll down here. We're in week 6, and obviously this is kind of the overview of the week. Obviously, the week 6 videos and the to-dos for this week are pretty I don't want to say pretty self-explanatory, but they are self-explanatory. Number one, you need to make sure you have your topic. Okay, hopefully you have that topic now. If you don't have that topic, let me know. 2, begin to put a draft together. All right. If you don't have necessarily every single one of the graphics ready for it just yet, feel free to indicate on your draft where those graphics are going to go and perhaps what that graphic is going to look like or what you're doing with it. And do your best to try to have as much of it done as possible. Most important part, obviously, will be the writing portion of it. So try to have as many of those aspects done, especially when you think about setting it up, how you're going to set it up, presenting the problem or the issue or the challenge, and then segueing into what some of the quote unquote solutions are, right? Or the benefits of how this particular area that you're talking about, whether it's a specific product or a service, is. And highlight what those features or what those benefits are. Remember, this is kind of like this weird thing where we're discussing these benefits of something, but we're talking about them more in general than we are saying that specifically product X, service X, or idea X or whatever is the way to go. We're talking about it more in the generic format for the bulk of the paper, and then maybe in your last part of the conclusion, which we'll look here at a couple of samples. Then kind of your little sales pitch, perhaps for that item comes into play. However, white papers come in all shapes and forms. So I have the link here on our week 6 page. So let's go back over here to, or I should say the week 6 area. So if you hit this link right here, white paper examples link, this will take you to this VisMe page where they have different templates done. My, excuse me, the more important aspect, let me just go back up at the top of the page for this, of the examples and templates to use right away are not necessarily for you to feel like you want to, that you have to use the template per se, but more my interest here is in thinking about the topics, right? So here's a social media one, right? So, the social society rumors and concerns. And so this white paper talks about the problem, okay, if you will, right, of social media, and then, present some ideas along with it. And then design white paper, right? So if you're in looking at design, so here is talking about specifically high quality and then perhaps its effects. And in this particular one, it's talking more specifically about in the workplace. And then this travel guide one, some of these to greater and lesser degrees, really, not as problem solution oriented, but there is inherent, while it might not be necessarily as obvious as saying, okay, here's the problem, here's the solution, here's the challenge, here's the fix, right? Or overcome the challenge, or however you want to look at that in, opposites as far as, problem solution is concerned. There is inherent in there, okay, here's this issue, and then this white paper is addressing it, right? It might not necessarily come out and say, it could be a little bit more nuanced. Sometimes those are harder to write. So that's kind of why I say, okay, think about it really in a problem solution, challenge, overcoming, right? Those kind of things. Environmental white paper. This is the story of 3 Rs and the path towards sustainable environment. This is volume 1, and this is really talking about specifically setting up, okay, we have this environmental problem, right? And so they're presenting it with these 3 Rs. And notice in each one of the templates, if you will, that there is a interesting combination in all of them with graphics along with text. And depending on, depending on what it is that you're highlighting, how images or pictures or graphics complement that which you are writing about. Water pollution. All right, so here there's this problem with levels of arsenic contamination in water, and what can be done for prevention, right? So it's not necessarily a solution per se to how do we get the arsenic out of the water completely. The solution is, or in this case, right, the prevention so that you don't ingest it, and that is where this particular one makes its case in that space, right, in that where it's apropos, where it's appropriate. And then there's an investor one, innovation for the future of New York City, right? So there's in this particular one, if I recall correctly, I don't want to say that the problem is how to move forward and, for the future of, in this case, New York City. But it's not necessarily that you're moving forward, it's how to best move forward, right? So someone could argue or present a case and say, okay, these are the best ways. The problem is this, right? New York City we need to develop. We need to do it in an innovative way because X, and here are some of those solutions, right, in that way. Electronic media, and that was my information. So this is kind of like a cybersecurity issue that they address. Human impact on the plant, right? So the problem is us. All right. So anyway, feel free to look those over. Just wanted to kind of present some different ways of thinking about it because oftentimes it's challenging to think, very, very specifically about a topic in the sense of, okay, there's this product and it's got a solution, right? Very, very specifically where X product takes care of this thing, right? It's a software system or it's a, it's a cloud solution. It's an actual physical product that does this or does that. As you recall from my example last week where I had the issue of squirrels getting into my vehicle. And so I went and stumbled upon a white paper about it, right? So they're talking about how and why squirrels are getting up inside under vehicles and chewing through cooling hoses. That was the problem, right? And it gave me the why they were doing it, so I understood what was taking place. Not just that they are doing it, but why they're doing it, and how come this has become a prevalent problem. Not only with the how we're taking up much more space, squirrels have less space to live in. They're looking for avenues of to survive and live. Something in, and then there's in those hoses, the smell of the antifreeze solution and coolant and all those things that are flowing through these hoses attracts them. And so once I had better understanding, they just weren't arbitrarily selecting my car out of vengeance. All right. So anyway, this will help. I hope this link will help you when you kind of think about your topic or a topic. If you're not sure about your topic, don't be overly concerned that as long as you're presenting something that topically is either a challenge, a problem that you see could be in the world in a very specific way, right? Business to business. It could be, I guess it could be not necessarily even business to consumer, but it could be societal, I guess, from that standpoint. So those oftentimes will work too, depending on how you put it together. Anyway, all right, so that's that. So the overview of the week really is work on your white papers. I want to try to provide you with some more examples. As I come across them, I'll keep posting them this week, but for the most part, I'm going to try to leave you alone, let you work on your white paper. I will come back to you. I will have one more video here in a minute, and we are going to just kind of go over, just reiterate and go over one more time the basic structure of the white paper, and then just kind of help you hopefully answer some questions about kind of how to follow that. All right, guys. I hope you're enjoying the class so far. Hope everything's going well. I know it's so hard to spend a whole lot of time on these when we got such a short period of time. But based on what I'm seeing you guys submit and you guys doing your peer review together and everything, it's just been fantastic. So way to go, awesomes. All right. I'll see you shortly. Stay safe. Stay awesome. Bye now.